Welcome to the HealthLinc Human Resources Information Center. This is your source for the most up-to-date policies and procedures in effect at HealthLinc. This presentation covers the most current attendance and tardiness procedures for hourly paid employees. Attendance is essential to HealthLinc's ability to fulfill its mission of providing access to exceptional healthcare. We do realize, however, there are times when absences and tardiness cannot be avoided. HealthLinc wants to recognize those hourly paid employees that are able to achieve perfect or almost perfect attendance. For each 6-month period, January through June and July through December, if you accumulate 0 points, you will get up to 8 hours of floating holiday time. If you only get 1 point during each 6-month period, you will receive up to 4 hours of floating holiday time. This special time must be used before the end of the year and does not roll over into the next year. If you are in your probationary period or on a corrective disciplinary plan, you are not eligible for the floating holiday time. While perfect attendance is nice, the fact is that most employees will have an unexpected occurrence from time to time and accumulate some points. The HealthLinc attendance and tardiness procedure simply provides a fair and consistent way of monitoring and managing occurrences for hourly paid staff that balances the needs of our operations with the needs of our staff. Any hourly paid staff that has an unexpected occurrence resulting in the need to leave work early or the inability to get to work on time or come to work at all will receive a point. We recognize that many of these occurrences may be out of the employee's control, for example, sickness, transportation problems, weather delays, etc. But it is only repeated occurrences that result in any disciplinary action. For most employees, this will never become an issue. For this year, the point system begins January 1st and is calculated like this for non-probationary, hourly paid employees. Up to 6 points, no disciplinary action is needed. 7 points, a verbal warning is given. 9 points, a written warning is issued. 11 points, a 1-day suspension is given. 12 points, termination may be immediate. If you fail to call off and don't show up for 1 day during the year, there is a 1-day suspension. For 2 days within a 12-month period, termination may be immediate. If you fail to call off and don't show up for work for 2 consecutive days, termination may be immediate. Now, if you are on your probationary period, or for the first 360 hours of employment, your point system looks like this. 1 point, a verbal warning is given. 2 points, a written warning is issued. 3 points, 1-day suspension and an extension of your evaluation period. 4 points, termination may be immediate. If you fail to call off and don't show up for 1 day during your evaluation period, there is a 1-day suspension. For 2 days within your evaluation period, termination may be immediate. If you fail to call off and don't show up for work for 2 consecutive days, termination may be immediate. When calling off, you must speak directly to your site manager or department supervisor prior to the start of the business day, or as soon as possible, once it is apparent that you are going to be late or absent. Please include the reason for your tardiness or absence, and when you think you will arrive or return to work. If you don't call or report to work for 2 consecutive days, it is considered job abandonment and you may be terminated. Remember, most of us will experience an occurrence at some time during the year. That is why 6 points must be accumulated before any disciplinary action is taken for non-probationary employees. Points for occurrences are tracked in Paylocity. You may request an update of your current point totals at any time from your supervisor. It is your responsibility to know whether or not you have points. Paylocity assigns the points as follows. 1/2 point is given for each late arrival or early quit. 1 point is given for calling off. If you are absent on consecutive days for sickness, it will only count as 1 occurrence, and only 1 point is given. If you are sick for 3 or more days, you will need a doctor's note, or each day will count as 1 occurrence, and a point will be given for each day you are absent. Prearranged time off, PTO, is considered an authorized absence and does not count as an occurrence. or result in any points being given. In order to qualify as an authorized absence or PTO, the request must be made 24 business hours in advance of the absence. This includes requests for late arrivals and early quits. Business hours are considered Monday through Friday. This means that time off for Monday needs to be requested the Friday before, even if you are scheduled to work on Saturday. Exceptions to the required 24 business hour advance notice are leaving work before the end of your shift after reaching 40 hours for the week. This must be approved by your supervisor. Jury duty, disciplinary days off, approved leave of absence, FMLA, approved severe weather days, see HealthLinc severe weather policy, or extreme weather conditions, upon announcement from HealthLinc CEO. Military leave, bereavement as defined in the policy, layoff, on-the-job injury, emergency situations as defined in the policy. As long as the proper procedure has been followed and supporting documentation is provided, these situations will not count as an occurrence and no points will be given. It is important here to discuss an emergency situation as defined by HealthLinc. An emergency situation includes an ER visit or hospitalization of yourself or an immediate family member, to include your spouse, children, parents, step-parents, grandparents, siblings, grandchildren, in-laws, or spouses of children by a former marriage. An automobile accident involving you, or if you stay at the scene of an automobile accident as a witness. These emergency situations will require documentation. There may be situations that you could consider to be an emergency, but are really an occurrence. For example, a sick child at school. It is understood that you would need to be available, and that is why at least 6 points need to be accumulated before any disciplinary action is taken. Requests for PTO are made through Paylocity. Approval is not automatic. Your supervisor must approve, and it is dependent on business operations and needs. The attendance and tardiness procedure is regulated by the attendance board. This 7-member group is made up of HealthLinc employees that volunteer to serve a 1-year term to consider appeals and annually review the attendance and tardiness procedure. If you have accumulated at least 2 points, but feel that your particular situation is not mentioned within the current policy or have a compelling reason for your absence to be authorized, you may petition the attendance board to consider your situation. You must submit your request, along with documentation and proof of the emergency, to Human Resources. HR will forward the information to the attendance board that will meet and have a ruling either approving or denying your appeal within 5 business days. Rulings will be sent to both you and your supervisor by email. For a comprehensive written explanation of HealthLinc attendance and tardiness procedure, including frequently asked questions, please refer to PolicyTech.